Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, we're going to talk about our favorite subject on here on this channel because people love when I talk about Canelo Alvarez, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about Canelo Alvarez, you know what I'm saying? Now, listen, Canelo Alvarez, he's everywhere. I mean, he's over here, he's over there, he's everywhere with it. As far as who his next fight's going to be. 1 minute he's saying he's going to Busca de Campeón de Crucero Macabu. He's going to fight Macabu at cruiserweight. The next minute he's saying, they're talking about him going light heavyweight to fight Joe Smith. Then they're talking about Charlo. So we don't really know what the fuck he's going to do. Then we hear like rumblings about he's going to fight an opponent that boxing purists don't like. Some speculate it could be like an Anthony Durrell type of opponent. So we don't really know what he's going to do yet because nothing's formally been announced or said. But it's been reported that Canelo Alvarez has 2 offers from 2 of the premier boxing promotional entities out there. One being from PBC to fight Jermall Charlo on May 7th. The other being from DAZN for 2 fights. One fight being with Dmitry Bivol. The next fight being a Golovkin fight. Those are the 2 options he has presented to him. So let's dissect that. And let's talk about that, and let's try to get to the bottom of which one should he pick and why. So we'll start with the DAZN one, right? Because I like the DAZN one because first and foremost, you know, honestly, like, look, excuse my language, but like, fuck Gennady Golovkin, honestly, like, forget that for a second. Dmitry Bivol, that is an amazing fight. You know, when we talk about Dmitry Bivol, we're talking about one of the most skilled technicians in the sport. I really think stylistically, Bivol has the tools, and he's a bit younger and fresher than Sergey Kovalev was. He can fight the same way Sergey Kovalev did in the Canelo fight when they fought and have that success. But I think he's fresh enough to do it for 12 rounds. And I'll tell you this, I know a lot's been made on this channel about how he's ducked Demetrius Andrade, and I will continue to state that because it's the truth. And I would like to see that fight, but I also understand that it's very, very unlikely that it happens because Canelo was in my presence and I asked him about it, and he stated that he doesn't want to fight him. So if he doesn't want to fight him, you know, it is what it is. We've said what we need to say about that already. Don't need to beat that like a dead horse. But I think a good alternative would be Bivol. Bivol, I think, is one of the best fights out there for Canelo as far as competition and really continuing to show his level in boxing. So I like that fight. Golovkin's whatever. We've seen it. You know, it is what it is. But I personally would love that Bivol fight. Now, as far as Charlo's concerned, Jermall Charlo has some tools to beat Canelo. I think Jermall Charlo's got a good jab, good size, good frame to beat Canelo. But you got to factor in that if he fights Canelo, he's fighting him at 168, a weight class he's never fought at. So he's not really known for being the fleetest of foot or the most athletic fighter in the world. And with more weight on him, does that really favor Jermall Charlo? I'm not so sure. A lot of people say that they think that he could fight Canelo the way he fought Derevyanchenko, and I hate to break it to everybody, but Sergey Derevyanchenko is not Canelo Alvarez or anything close. So I don't really see that fight as, I'll be honest with you, I don't see that fight as a competitive fight. You know, you guys know I'm not the biggest Canelo fan, but I'm also not a hater. I know he can fight. I know he's creme de la creme. I know he's A-level. And if you're going to beat Canelo Alvarez, you can't be no subpar fighter. You can't have a bunch of chinks in your armor if you're going to beat him. And I just feel like with Charlo, I think Charlo has a lot of chinks in his armor. I think his jab is above average at times, you know, depending on who the fighter is. I think his right hand is extremely average. He don't really have much of a right hand, to be honest with you. And I think he may suffer in that fight from what I'm going to start calling Caleb Plant syndrome, which is the being a jab dominant fighter who doesn't have a consistent right hand, or, you know, yeah, a consistent power hand to keep Canelo off of him. And you know, and Caleb Plant, in my opinion, is much better boxer than Jermall Charlo. Charlo throws more of like a power jab. Caleb Plant can throw different variations of the jab, and he's a more athletic fighter that can pivot out more than Charlo. But Charlo, I just think, doesn't have the right hand. And I don't even think he's that. I don't think he has that dog in him to outdog a guy like Canelo. So I see the way I would see that fight going is I see Charlo having some success in the early rounds. Canelo getting out to a bit of a slower start, not the slowest start, but he'll kind of do what he did to Caleb Plant. I think he'll make him fight when he don't want to fight. I think he'll make him expend energy he don't want to expend in the early rounds, and I make him pay for it late. So for me, if I was Canelo, I mean, listen, if I was Canelo, if I was in that position, I would take the DAZN offer. First and foremost, you're probably gonna get more money, or I don't know the numbers, so I don't want to assume anything, but you're gonna have two big fights. You know, Bivol is one of the top light heavyweights out there, if not the top light heavyweight out there in some people's estimation. That would be an amazing fight, and that would really be a great way to start off your light heavyweight campaign. Okay, if you're gonna go up there, then you have the Golovkin fight, which I personally could care less about, but I know from the casual fan standpoint, from mainstream standpoint, Golovkin's a recognized name. They fought twice. There's still a lot of disputes about what happened in the first two fights, and there is an audience out there that does want to see the third fight. I'm just not part of it. So I think for him, that's the way he should go. When it comes to Jermall Charlo is one of the biggest cowards in the whole entire sport of boxing, and he ducked Dmitry Bivol, so he doesn't deserve anything. I know I accuse Canelo of ducking Dmitry Bivol, but it's a bit different with Canelo because Canelo Alvarez, he's in that power position of being the cash cow of boxing where he's making a lot of money and everybody wants to fight him, so he's got options. Charlo don't got the kind of options, and he tried a big time man trade, so you know, fuck him. Fight Bivol, fight Golovkin, leave Charlo in the dark and let him fend for himself. That's really where I'm at. But yeah, I wanted to discuss that a little bit, and I think yeah, for me, the Bivol fight I think is an amazing fight. I think that's a fight where Canelo Alvarez's boxing IQ will really be put to the test against a guy that I think is one of the smartest fighters out there. You know, Bivol does a lot of things, a lot of subtle things. I mean, from the outside looking in, if to the untrained eye, it may look like Bivol is just a straight up and down Eastern European or Central Asian fighter. But if you're really paying attention, Bivol is not that. Bivol has very clever feet. Bivol has very clever feints. Bivol can set things up very nicely. He's not a knockout artist or anything like that, but you can't just run up on Bivol and not expect to get popped in your mouth with something of significance. He can punch a little bit. He's sharp. So I like that fight, and if these reports are true, that's the route I'm hoping to see Canelo go if he's not going to be fighting the Demetrius Andrade of the world. I want to see him fight Bivol. That's a good fight, you know? So yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God bless.